Well, I came outside to feed my donkeys and goats and chickens, and I got some help here. This is my Diamond Lou. She's a yellow lab, if you can see her. She's rotten. And over there, that's one of my barn cats. I call her Stripe. Don't always name them because out in the country, cats don't always do as well when they're barn cats because they're there for mice control, snake control, things like that. So they're part of the family. We love them, we feed them. But we know that sadly their job in life sometimes shortens their lives. Got birds of prey and stuff like that. So anyway, I wanted to tell y'all a little story about my youngest son. Oh, and by the way, I got 2 eggs, and that is my little 410 snake gun because they tend to be in the barn occasionally, and that's where I end up having to take them out. But my youngest son, he was, I don't know, 16 and a half maybe. He had his driver's license, and he decided, hey, Mom, I'm going to go to this party. And I said, you know what, that's okay, where's it going to be? So he said, well, you remember that place where you bought that fence wire not long ago? I said, yeah, I remember that. He said, well, it's going to be there, and it's, just to be a bunch of guys from school and girls from school, and if I drink, I'm going to stay there instead of driving. I'm not going to drive. And I was like, if you what? He said, if I drink. If I drink, I'm going to stay there and not drive home. I said, what makes you think that it's okay for you to go there and drink? Well, y'all said I could. Arthur, did we ever tell these kids that they could go somewhere and drink? I didn't think so. What are you talking about? Have you lost your mind? He says, but y'all always said that if we went somewhere and we found ourselves where we couldn't drive home, or somebody we'd ridden with couldn't drive, that we could call y'all and y'all would come get us, and it would be, wouldn't be mad at us about it. And I said, that's if you fall into a piece of stupid, not if you walk into a piece of stupid. So he got to pouting a little bit, and he said, fine, I won't go. And I said, can you go without drinking? Well, yeah. Well, then go without drinking. I'm going to trust you that you're not going to do it. And you go and enjoy yourself. Come back at a decent time, but come back tonight. Yes, ma'am. So he looked at me kind of, leery, but then he went ahead and left. And as soon as he was out the door, and I don't think he's even out the driveway yet, I'm texting a friend of mine in local law enforcement saying, hey, just wanted to know that hypothetically there could be a party at this address, because I still had it from the texting that I had done with the person I bought the wire from. And hypothetically, there could be an adult there providing alcohol to minors. And some of y'all are going to say, you set your son up to have a criminal record. No, my son's not going to drink. I'm going to trust him. But I'm going to do this to protect him and other people's young children who might make a bad decision. Because I would rather my son have a misdemeanor criminal record and still be alive and breathing, and not have on his conscience that his choices took somebody else out. So anyway, about 30, 45 minutes later, my son comes home and he says, Mama, you're not going to believe this. The sheriff's deputies come out there and they were like circling around and spotlighting the house, and me and that pregnant girl, we weren't drinking. So I said, it's time for me to go home. And I said, oh, you dodged a bullet, son. I'm so glad you had the good sense to come home. Oh my goodness. And he looked at me and he said, Mama, did you call them? No, I didn't call them. I didn't call anybody. Well, about, 2 or 3 months ago, this is several years later, I told him that while I had not called them, so therefore I had not lied, I had texted them. And he was mad at me for almost a week, but we laugh about it now because he understands that I did it because I wanted to protect him. So, anyway, just sharing a little bit from Bumpkin World. Y'all have a great night.